Hello, welcome to excelexperts.com. Today we're looking at the utility on how to analyze a workbook. So this is a free utility that you can download from excelx.com. If you want to do that, just go to excelexperts.com, search the site for Analyse A Workbook, and you'll get to this utility. You can read more about it, have a look at the screenshots, the results, and most importantly, to download the files to practice and enter your own file to analyze. So I wrote this as part of an effort to build up some auditing tools, and I think some of the results here are fairly interesting. So what does this do? Very basically, you enter a file path here, the full path, so the spreadsheet knows where to look. Then you enter this number here, which is a safety number that just says stop after this many formulae. So if you've got 1 million or 2 million and you just want to stop early and still get the summaries but just get an idea of the workbook, run it quickly, then just enter a number here. And when you press run, you'll get an analysis of the contents. So this is basically a different view of all the data in a spreadsheet. It's a tabular view. It lists where you find something, what it is, so it can be a constant, a name, a formula, whatever, the address, which is where it is on that sheet, so A4, and the cell contents. So what we can say is that on sheet 1 we've got a formula in cell B1 that is cell file name. Great. We've also got a pivot table that summarizes all of the data, where it is and what it is. So that can be quite useful in analyzing the complexity of a spreadsheet. Somebody gives you something, they want to know a bit more about it, well, you can quite quickly produce this summary for them and say, well, this is a complex sheet or this is a very simple sheet. So let's just have a look at my workbook that I'm going to analyze. Paste that in there, and this is it. I've just created a pivot table, some labels, range name there, a couple of charts, hyperlink, a few buttons, and a blank sheet. So that's really it. Nothing exciting. And then click on this Perform Analysis button. Boom. It opens it up, and it takes the contents and copies it to a blank workbook. It then saves that blank workbook and tells you this, which is the minimum file size that this could be if you got rid of all of the charts, the pivot tables, the formulae, and just have the data. So this is the absolute bare minimum file size, and this is the current file size. So this is very useful. So if you think your file is very, very big, well, the difference between that and that will give you an idea of how much potentially you could clear up your free up space in your workbook. If it's all data, then these two will be very similar, and there's not actually a lot of file size you can save. So then you've got an analysis of how many sheets, formulae, constants, names, hyperlinks, comments, etc., and then a few file attributes. So this tells you when it was created and what type of thing it is. Not hugely useful, but the main useful things are the analysis here, how much you could reduce the size by, and this pivot table here. But also on the content analysis, you could add data filter here, Alt-D-F-F, and pivot on. You want something, let's have a look. Let's just pivot on Wednesday. So you can find out that Wednesday is only on there, for example. So you can pivot, you can filter, you can get a summary, you can analyze a file. So an Analyse Workbook utility downloadable from excelexperts.com, quick, free, easy to run. You've been listening to excelexperts.com.